between the Portland Trailblazers, with the best regular season record in the NBA, and the Los Angeles Lakers. Los Angeles went into Portland in Game 1 and took the 63-win home court advantage right away from Portland with a 111-106 win. But then 3 nights ago, the Blazers come back at home and even the series at 1 apiece. Now it comes into the Forum, and a lot of people would be talking about home court advantage. But, Doug, except for maybe one element, there's not really a home court advantage between these two teams and at this point in the playoffs.
No, really not, because Portland has established itself as the best road team in the NBA. They've won twice here in the Forum. They've done it in convincing style. One time, just recently, coming back from a 21-point deficit in the third quarter here to win. I think the key tonight is which team will be the aggressor. In Game 2, it was Portland on the boards, 51-28. A lot of talk has been about Vlade Divac and his play. You see, in the first series against the Houston Rockets, what he did, 42 minutes, 16 points, 10 rebounds. Look what's dropped off to now. Against a smaller Golden State team, he didn't play that much. But his style of play is going to have to change a little bit, Bob. And what I mean by that is he has a tendency to do a lot of flopping and acting out on the floor. In the playoffs, you got to stand tough, and you got to play tall in the post. He's got to be better there tonight. If not, they maybe go to AC Green early.
I think you'd agree with me after you analyze Portland up and down and talk of their great players. As goes Terry Porter, so goes Portland.
Well, you know, in Game 1, he got in foul trouble. 26 minutes he played, 9 points, 3 for 8. I think it also messed up their rotation in the fourth quarter. It made Rick Adelman play a team maybe he didn't want to. But you see Game 2, 41 minutes, 26 points is shooting. He made really the critical basket to put them up 7 with about 1:19 to go. What he does is pushes the ball up the floor and forces the tempo of the game, something that the Portland Trailblazers must do to be effective.
You might say it's an issue of control. Can the Blazers run and gun? Can Magic control the tempo? We'll find out in a moment when we return to the Great Western Forum for the tip-off between the Blazers and the Lakers right after this. The place is packed. The stars are out. It's Hollywood. It's Game 3 Western Conference Championship Series. The Portland Trailblazers and the Los Angeles Lakers. And Doug Collins, once again, matchups a key to this game as you look at the matchups to start things.
Well, to start the game out, you're going to see Buck Williams against Perkins, Jerome Kersey, Worthy, Duckworth, Divac, Drexler Johnson, Porter Scott. But I think if Divac falters early, you're going to see Perkins matched up against Duckworth and AC Green in the game against Buck Williams, because he's a more aggressive player, more of a gladiator, something you're going to need in the playoffs. I think you'll see him more than the 3 minutes we saw him in Game 2.
And two of the bright young minds in the NBA will be pulling the strings. Rick Adelman, Mike Dunleavy, both former players.
Well, the pressure was on Mike Dunleavy to get into this situation. The pressure is on Rick Adelman to win the championship. So the expectation's a little different from both of these coaches. Rick Adelman knows after having the best record in the league and being in the finals last year, he's got to get back there again this year for it to be a successful season.
Magic Johnson will lead the Lakers as usual, averaging 23 points in the playoffs, 7.9 rebounds. Clyde Drexler, who was the man who really led the way emotionally for Portland in the win up in Portland, even though Terry Porter was the high scorer on the team. And Vlade Divac and how he will perform as center. He had only 2 rebounds in game number 2. A major question, and of course, Byron Scott, number 4. Will he hit the big shots? Will he hit the perimeter jumpers? So far in the playoffs, Scott has been big. We're going to jump it again. Mike Mathis with the call. And the ball coming right to Doug Collins. So, Doug, you have your first possession of the ball game as you hand it to Byron Scott.
I was worried that Byron was going to dive right over my lap, and I could not move. The legs are shot, the hands still work.
It'll be Portland ball. So after what you might call a disastrous tip-off situation, Joe Forty, Mike Mathis, Hugh Evans are the officials, by the way. Portland ends up with the ball, and we are underway at the Forum in Los Angeles. Jerome Kersey in the paint. Magic Johnson stopped him in the middle. He failed on the reverse, and the Lakers push it up court. Magic Johnson being defensed by Kersey. Kicks it to Worthy. The double clutch shot won't fall. Rebound Buck Williams.
You're going to see Porter really try to push the ball up the floor. This is where he was so effective in game 2.
Duckworth spots up for the jumper. Buck Williams with another rebound out to Drexler. Drexler with a mismatch on Vlade Divac. Perkins comes after him. He launches the jump shot, and the rebound goes to L.A.
A little surprise for Drexler there to stand up and take that jump shot. He had Divac. I thought he could have penetrated, maybe made something happen going to the basket.
He even had the double team with Perkins, the 7-footer, coming out on him. But nevertheless, with 10 seconds, Laker ball. Off the screen, Byron Scott.
That's a welcome sight here in Los Angeles. These people realize that when Byron Scott shoots the ball well, they're a very tough team to beat, especially at home.
Terry Porter, 26 points in game number 2. Buck Williams against Perkins and his long arms. Kicks it out to Duckworth with the perimeter shot. He's 0 for 2. Third rebound of the night already for Buck Williams. Kersey against Divac. The jump shot. Lakers like it when he takes that shot. Perkins rebound. Johnson, baseball pass. Divac with a jam.
Everything right now for Portland has been an outside jump shot. That's because they're in a half-court game. They're going to have to try to get some defensive stops where they can push the ball up the floor.
Drexler with the baseline drive. He ran into Johnson. Scott, 3-on-2. Perkins is fouled. He'll go to the line. Jerome Kersey with the personal, his first of the game.
Right now, you have to like the aggressiveness of the Los Angeles Lakers. Portland very sluggish here to start the ball game. Outside jump shooting means long rebounds. Now, Buck Williams has corralled 2 of them. If those shots go long, it's going to give the Lakers an opportunity to run out. You see Vlade getting the layup this time, Sam Perkins for 2 free throws.
We saw a game you and I did in the regular season. The Lakers get up to a 20-plus point lead in the third quarter. People were starting to leave before them, and Portland came back as they're an up-and-down team and stole that game in overtime.
They are a very streaky kind of team, Bob. They can hit you with a 15-0 spurt, but on the same time, they can get beat by a 15-0 spurt. So against a team like Portland, you just must keep playing, regardless of whether you're in the lead or behind.
Lakers haven't led 6-0 in the playoff series yet. They're up 6-0. 9:48 to go first quarter, and the Blazers have been unable to throw up the ocean. Duckworth against Divac. Let's see how tough Vlade plays him down there. The steal. Worthy, Johnson. Worthy with a tip-in. His first basket. 8-0. Timeout. Portland Trailblazers. It's only a 20-second timeout. This Forum crowd, which is often a quiet crowd, is definitely here for the playoffs tonight.
Kevin Duckworth has to be aware. Vlade Divac plays from behind defensively, so when you dribble the ball in the post, he's going to come in from behind you. Worthy on the fast break. Misses the shot, but a nice second effort here. So the Lakers are out and running. That's 6 fast break points they've gotten either by getting out and getting layups or getting to the free throw line. Now watch Divac here. When Duckworth puts the ball on the floor, he's going to wrap around from behind and knock the ball loose. Duckworth has got to get this ball out ahead of him. That's twice now that this has happened, and it's going to cause problems. Duckworth 8 turnovers in game 1.
In the first 7 possessions for the Trailblazers here tonight, 5 missed field goals, 2 turnovers, 8-0 Los Angeles.
Well, normally when they're in this situation, they try to get Clyde Drexler a shot, so let's see if they get the ball to him.
Worthy is on Drexler. He pops off the screen with the drive, the 4-footer, wave it off.
Kevin Duckworth clearing out on the baseline, offensive foul, so another turnover. Auspicious start here for the Portland Trailblazers.
Down 8-0. Drexler, who got an early foul trouble in game number 2, but lived to play above it. Perkins against Williams. Rebound, Jerome Kersey.
Now this is where they've got to push the ball. On missed field goals, they must get them some easy opportunities.
Porter with the drive, and he kicks it out to Kersey. He misses the jumper, but has got his own offensive rebound. Will it ever go in the hole for Portland? They missed 3 shots on that possession. Divac turnaround. 10-0 Los Angeles. Porter with a dangerous pass.
Well, very fortunate that was not picked off. Sam Perkins in the passing lane.
Drexler's left hand, and Portland finally gets it, and that one had to bounce 3 times. The first field goal of the night for the Blazers.
Now, the one thing Portland is doing is they've already established they're getting second and third shots at the basket. What they have to do is start converting on some of their initial opportunities.
7 seconds to shoot for Worthy. The quick flash into the paint. Right by Jerome Kersey, and didn't get any help. Worthy with 4 points. Duckworth with a very dangerous pass. Once again, Lakers playing excellent defense, and it seems as if Portland's getting the ball where the Lakers want them to get it.
Well, they are, and another thing, Bob, everything is a half-court set here, so 1 for 9 we see in field goal shooting, but everything is in a half-court. Portland has not had any opportunities to run out and get some easy shots as Duckworth finally hits a little perimeter jump shot for about 15 feet.
He missed his first 2, and now is 1 of 3 from the floor, and the Lakers lead it by 8, 7:25 to go in the first quarter. It looked like showtime here to open up this game. The Lakers of the 80s. Popping off the screen is Byron Scott with a miss, and Drexler has him running.
This is Portland's game right here. Pushing it out. Porter, Drexler getting quick jump shots and getting second shot opportunities.
And now Lakers by 6. Porter's first basket of the night. Kersey and Williams have failed to score so far for the Blazers.
Bob, so many times we talk about playoffs, and about the first 5 to 12 minutes, the game is emotion, and then it becomes execution.
Speaking of which, the nice pass to Vlade Divac, who has 6 points early in this game.
Well, Vlade's been reading the papers across the country, especially here in Los Angeles. He has stepped up his game considerably already.
You saw him play well against Houston. He has not played well since.
Well, he was very aggressive. I mean, he played Akeem Olajuwon as well as anybody's played him all year long.
Drexler tried to pass through the Lakers double team. Vlade Divac tried to dribble it down court. He bounced it off Duckworth. It'll belong to the Lakers, but first a timeout on the floor. 6:23 to go in the first quarter. The Lakers 14-6, and many of these fans here at the Forum already on their feet. The Lakers are leading at 14-6, and 6 of the 14 Lakers points have come from Vlade Divac, who has also hit 50% of his rebound total from game number 2 with 1.
Well, 2 transition baskets for Vlade, a dunk and then the little jump shot. You see him with a little kiss to the crowd and a high five, or I guess a low five, to Jack Nicholson. So Vlade's excited, playing well, and Portland off to a very sluggish start, although they're only down 14-6. They've made some good things happen on the boards, but Bob, their execution right now in the half-court game is not very good.
And half-court game is part of the key to that. They don't want to get in a half-court game.
Well, the Lakers know that when they run against Portland, they're going to run selectively. They're not going to get into an all-out running game because they realize that athletically, Portland has the advantage there. So they're going to take their advantages. You've already seen Worthy out on the break, Divac a couple times. If it's not there, Magic takes the basketball. They come down the floor and they run a half-court play.
Magic Johnson being defensed by Drexler. Magic has yet to score in the ballgame. Hasn't needed to so far.
Well, right back in the post to Vlade. Let him work a little bit against Duckworth.
The turnaround jumper off the glass. Drexler rebound. That's Vlade's first miss. Porter. Loose ball foul. It's on Portland. Buck Williams with a loose ball, is first of the night.
Well, right now you can see that Portland is not shooting well, so they're really working hard to try to get second shots. Again, everything is on the perimeter. Nothing Portland has done has been inside. All jump shots.
14-6 LA, 5:53 to go first quarter. Strange beginning. LA jumped out to a 10-0 lead. There's the pick and roll. Worthy, defense by Kersey down low. 10 seconds to shoot. Drexler stripping it away. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Doug Collins and I will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. Team foul situation, by the way, that was the second on the Blazers. They still haven't signaled who committed the foul. Jerome Kersey, which is his second early.
That's his second, so, you know, Bobby, it's going to cause Rick Adelman to go to his bench now early to Cliff Robinson. So Cliff Robinson will come in the game. He'll be matched against Worthy. Cliff Robinson, a very aggressive, active player. He has the ability to come right off the bench and score some points. He's a slashing, driving player that can get out in the open court and really make some things happen.
He's played in every single game for the Trailblazers the last 2 years, 164 consecutive games, so he's been durable also, and is a very active player, the leading scorer off the bench. Worthy missed the first one. Worthy now has 5 points. Drexler quickly spins into the lane and spins the ball around the hoop. Lakers have 4-on-1. Scott 17-6, but quickly back to Duckworth, and that's how it's been going for the Blazers.
He had a layup and mishandled the pass. There's Blotty falling down. That's what I talked about. He's got to stay on his feet, cannot be flopping in the post.
Duckworth has him posted, double team. Robinson passes into Drexler. Divac is there, blocked by Perkins, controlled by Drexler. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Buck Williams with his 5th rebound, and he's fouled.
Remember I talked about Blotty standing tall in the post. All right, now watch Blotty here. There's a little bump and the act in the fall. You got to stay on your feet. The officials are not going to give you that call in the playoffs. What that does is Kevin Duckworth now walks in, has low post position. Bob, you got to play big. You cannot be falling down on the floor. Maybe you can do that over in Europe in the playoffs, and you'll get that acting call, but not here.
And we know that this town does not need another bad actor.
Really?
Buck Williams, second straight year to be on the all-defensive team. He was a man possessed in game number 2. It was his ad-lib double-teaming of Magic Johnson that took the Lakers out of their game often. It started early, and it continued throughout the game, even though Buck didn't play all that many minutes.
Buck Williams is a 58% free throw shooter in the playoffs, 70% on the regular season. It was 2 critical free throw misses by him with 32 seconds in game 1 that enabled the Los Angeles Lakers to win that game by 5.
Lakers by 9 points in a very strange first quarter. 4:53 remaining.
Again, now this Portland team is so streaky. The minute you think they're down and on their heels, they hit you with about a 15-point spurt.
There's the hook pass to Divac, who loses the dribble. Lakers have 6 to shoot. Now 4. Now 2. Magic has to throw up the 3. Almost got it. Byron Scott just stole the rebound. Nobody blocked out. And Scott drops the hoop. He has 6.
Just an aggressive play by Byron Scott. Remember, long shots mean long rebounds. Your guards must come back and clean up those long rebounds.
Drexler trying to create something off the dribble. Porter off the curl. Left hand. Terry Porter. Porter has 4 points. It's a 9-point Lakers lead. It took Portland nearly 8 minutes to get into double figures in this game.
Another rebound on the floor that Portland does not get. They finally clean it up.
Nice pass to Porter. Divac with a hard foul. Porter isn't happy about it, but the Lakers have to like the fact that Divac A, got back on the break, and B, took the hard foul.
You got to give up that kind of foul. He tried to hold him up. You're going to see Worthy with the miss here. And look at this. The ball bounces again. Good block out. Finally, a couple guys go to the floor. Worthy trying to clean up the rebound. It's picked up by Drexler. And then the strong foul at the other end by Vlade Divac. But again, you must make people beat you from the free throw line. Here's a tough foul. And you see he tries to hold him up, and they get tangled up, and they sort of stumble underneath the basket. But that was not an intentionally hard foul.
Divac first. And an early entry into this ball game for AC Green, who played a very skinny 3 minutes in game number 2.
Now, this is an interesting substitution. James Worthy is coming out of the ball game right now. AC Green coming in, so we'll have to see who will be matched up now with Clyde Drexler, because normally Worthy plays Drexler. So let's watch the matchups. This is the first time that Mike Dunleavy has had this lineup on the floor.
Duckworth missed the stick back. Another offensive rebound for Portland, but they've not been making them pay. They have 8 offensive boards. Divac misses the jumper.
I don't think Mike Dunleavy wants that shot right there from Vlade Divac. If the fast break is not there, use some clock.
We know he doesn't want that one. Cliff Robinson, he's in some trouble. Disoriented Portland team early in this game. Drexler on the drive to Duckworth. Another offensive rebound, but once again the Lakers come away with it. And Scott goes to the hole. He's picked by Porter. It's 3-on-2. A bad pass by Porter. Tipped out of bounds. 19 on the shot clock for the Blazers.
Well, you saw that time Terry Porter did not get the ball in the middle of the floor. It was a three-man fast break. He had the ball on the right wing, so he only had one position, the place he could go, that was back to the middle of the floor. And when he did, the pass was knocked down. You got to get the ball in the middle of the floor.
Lakers playing some strengthy defense early. Drexler against Scott. That's for three. Drexler with a big one.
Again, he makes that shot, but a little surprised that Drexler is settling for so many outside jump shots. Quietly, the Blazers now have crept back to within 5.
Quietly and ugly, but they're back. Perkins from 19. Perkins has 4.
He's had a tremendous playoff series for the Lakers, not only against this Portland team, but in the first 2 series as well.
Devot's in position for the offside rebound. 21-14 LA. 2:28 to go in the quarter. Kersey has yet to hit a shot in the game. Duckworth 1 of 6. Drexler only 2 of 6.
That adds up to 3 of 17.
Here's Byron Scott. Back to Magic. 5 seconds, and Magic with a drive and fouled by Robinson. 2:11 to go, and we have a timeout on the floor with the Lakers up by 7. To go in the first quarter of play, and the run-and-gun Blazers haven't exactly been run-and-gun in this game, nor were they in game 1.
Well, credit the Lakers because they've done a good job of forcing them to play half-court basketball, shoot a lot of outside jump shots. That's why they're 3 for 17 among their 4 starters there. But game 1, you see the Lakers 24-2 on points off turnovers. Game 2, it goes to the Blazers 20-9. A lot of that is because of Terry Porter. He did not get in foul trouble. So the team that gets out and run, the Lakers 21-9 plus 12. They win that ball game. Game 2, 27-2 to the Blazers. So they win that battle plus 25. So the team that has been able to force the tempo, and Bob, in forcing the tempo, normally what you do is control the board. You see fast break here, 10-0. But you control the boards, you get out, and you get easy shots. It's not always a layup. It's not always a dunk. It might be an attempt to get to the free throw line or get to the basket. You get fouled. You get a little point-blank jump shot. And right now the Lakers are doing a good job controlling the tempo.
And Portland taking some unwise shots, 5 of 22, only 23%. Both teams shot above 50% in game number 2. 2:11 to go, first quarter. Lakers up by 7. Danny Ainge enters the court for the Portland Trail Blazers.
Danny Ainge is still not very popular here from his days as a Boston Celtics when they were playing the finals against this Los Angeles Laker team. So many people still remember Danny Ainge being the villain.
Now he's dressed in black. It's a perfect role for him here in Hollywood. Magic Johnson gets his first point of the night. And second.
Magic Johnson lives off that free throw line during the playoffs, so we're going to see tonight he got there 13 times in game 1.
Lead back up to 9. Drexler with the drive against Byron Scott, and that's a monster move by Clyde Drexler. A statement, as it were. 7 points for Clyde.
You know, early we talked about Clyde shooting the outside jump shot. That is Clyde Drexler right there. When he explodes to the basket and gets some easy shots, gives Sam Perkins a little slap as he go by and says, how'd that one taste?
Is that what they say?
You know what they say.
Right. I love that.
How'd that taste?
10 seconds to shoot for Los Angeles. Drexler on Magic. Off the screen. Curling is Scott. Good defense. Now down to 5 seconds to shoot. Over Buck Williams. Byron Scott misses that. Long rebound. Devot's inside to AC Green with a beautiful pass. And Green is fouled and will go to the line.
Second shot opportunities again. Now I think that'll be 2 fouls on Cliff Robinson.
We know one thing. Kersey had 2 and went to the bench and brought Robinson out very quickly. Seemed to be some dispute as to whether it's on Robinson. Let's make sure it is. That's 2 on Robinson and 2 on Kersey, who's on the bench. And that's been one of the stories of this series, regular season and playoff, between LA and Portland, and the free throw line trips tell a lot about who's going to win the game also.
The Lakers are a team that won during the regular season on the free throw line. During the course of the year, their opponents actually had more field goals. They outscored their opponents 527 points from the free throw line. Magic Johnson, 34% of his points during the regular season came from the free throw line. So they're a team that gets there because they play the post-up game, they force the ball inside, and they get to the free throw line a lot, which also stops the clock and now allows them to set their defense as Portland brings the ball up the floor.
AC Green about to take the 8th free throw for the Los Angeles Lakers. They've made 6 of the 8, and Portland 3 out of only 3. 24-16, 1:25 to go. Teagle in for Byron Scott. First quarter from the forum. 10 to shoot for Portland. Drexler missed everything with that three-point attempt. New shot clock. Ainge trying to create something himself. Left-handed hook won't go. Duckworth misses the stick-back attempt, and Magic Johnson controls. 1 minute to go, first quarter.
Every Portland shot has been contested. Hand in the face, driving in the lane. Every shot, nothing easy.
Evot's hook shot. Rims out.
That was really a nice move. He cleared himself nicely from Duckworth, just missed the shot.
Cliff Robinson to Drexler with a big jam, and he draws the foul. 40.2 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Drexler with 9 first quarter points. He had 10 the other night in the first quarter.
Clyde Drexler does a great job, Bob, when he gives the ball up of slashing to the basket and now getting the ball back. And he's big at 6'7", 220 pounds. He's going to finish up there big as well as anybody in the league. So when you let him get that ball inside there, he's either going to get to the free throw line, get the basket, and or both.
Under-recognized. He was about the, I think, 5th in the most valuable player voting. 2 of the Trailblazers, Drexler and Porter, were in the top 10. Of course, Magic Johnson won that, and it's a 5-point Lakers lead.
You know, if Portland gets a stop here and scores, you know, it's a 3-point game as poorly really as they played in the first quarter.
Lakers were up 10-0 to open the game. Teagle kicks it back to Magic. He'll take that 3. Magic with 5. Ainge answers for 3.
Don't blink. Don't blink.
This is more like what we love to see between these two teams instead of much of this first quarter where it's been out of kilter.
You know what? I was just getting ready to say, hold for the last shot if you're Portland. About that time, Danny Ainge lets go with the 3. So you got to play to your strengths.
3 seconds in the quarter. Teagle at the buzzer. It would have counted. Ainge was right in his face. And the Blazers escape, and I think that's a good word, trailing by only 5 points after the first period of play at the Forum in Los Angeles. This Western Conference Championship Series tied at 1 game apiece. Malibu to Inglewood in the Great Western Forum. The Lakers up by 5, 27-22. Ready for the second 12 minutes of play. Magic Johnson once again running the show effectively. Busted a big 3 late in the quarter. Has 5 points and 5 assists early to go with 2 rebounds. Drexler and Kersey begin this quarter on the bench for the Portland Trailblazers.
We'll have to watch the matchups right now. You've got Danny Ainge matched up against Magic Johnson. Let's see if the Lakers try to take Ainge to the post, get the double team and free maybe Teagle or somebody for a jump shot, or Worthy. But I don't think Ainge can handle Magic down there in the post.
Magic looking to post up Worthy, who's back on the court against Cliff Robinson.
Like to get his 3rd foul if they could.
5 seconds to shoot. Got Robinson in the air and drew Robinson's 3rd personal foul.
Got to stay on the floor against James Worthy. You're not going to block his shots. Get a hand in his face. You leave your feet. James Worthy is great at being able to draw fouls. You're going to watch it here. The pump fake. Now lean in, and the foul. So now Wayne Cooper, the guy we have not yet seen in the playoffs, will come in. That will put Mark Bryant down to a small forward position. Buck Williams will move over to the power forward, and Wayne Cooper will play center.
All the best laid plans of mice and men.
That's why, you know, you talk about your game plan, you talk about X's and O's, all those kind of things. It comes down to battles of will, aggressiveness, making the good play, playing intelligent basketball, because it's pressure, Bob. And when you have pressure, you make mistakes.
So Kersey and Robinson get early fouls. Bryant and Cooper get early entries into the ballgame. Ainge off the curl. That's usually his shot, but so far not tonight. Magic Johnson has him running. He'll spot up for the three. Rebound, Wayne Cooper. So Porter's at the two-guard spot, as it were, at the moment, with Danny Ainge out high, being defensed by Johnson. Now the switch. Johnson's on Porter.
I like Ainge better as a two-guard, and Terry Porter running the show. Danny much more of a scorer.
5 seconds to shoot. Buck Williams.
Well, Laker defense has been very, very good here early.
Stolen by Porter, his second big steal of the night. The drive, he misses the lay-in because Divac stood his ground.
At numbers 3-on-2, and they're going to give up a layup on the other end. Very poor execution on the fast break that time by Portland. Terry Porter in the middle of the floor forced the shot, and the Lakers made him pay at the other end with a dunk.
2 big steals wasted by Porter. 31-22 Lakers by 9. Another unforced turnover, and I'm telling you, the Blazers are really upset with the call from Joe Forte. Nevertheless, that's the 5th Portland turnover. Lakers only 2 in this game. Teagle, easy drive to the basket against a very tough inside team.
Portland's going to have to call timeout. Down now by 11.
Well, this Portland team is definitely disoriented here in Los Angeles. It's gone for the Trailblazers. Porter with a big steal and then a blown opportunity.
Well, Bob, here's what we talk about now. Porter's going to make the nice steal. He's going to get the ball in the middle of the floor. Here's the steal. Now, as we take it, if we stop it about right here, we see Porter with the ball. We've got this lane filled. You've got Wayne Cooper coming over here, but Porter's going to try to take the ball, and he's going to get inside, and he's really going to make this a fast break where he ends up taking a forced shot. You're going to see he beats the man off the dribble, but now he goes into Vlade, and right there, if he drops the ball off to Wayne Cooper, you have a dunk. Now what happens? You go the other way, and it's a dunk for James Worthy. That's a 4-point swing.
Front court scoring 20-4 in the favor of L.A. Kersey hasn't scored. Buck Williams has only 2 free throws. Ainge jumper offline by a lot. AC Green can't save it. Portland ball. So AC Green also getting more playing time so far here tonight. He had only 3 minutes total in game number 2.
AC Green is an energetic player. He will rebound. He will get out and run. He will take hard fouls. The things you have to do in the playoffs, his presence is being felt tonight.
Once again, you see less than desirable pass to Danny Ainge from Porter. Ainge battling in the middle. It's blocked by Divac. Hard to the hoop comes Jerome Kersey, who gets his first points of the night with 9:35 to go in the second quarter.
Well, Jerome Kersey picked up 2 quick fouls, so he had to sit down. So he really has not been in the flow of the game tonight.
See how the Lakers hold on to this lead now with Magic Johnson on the bench.
There's AC Green battling inside. A tip. Opportunity that does not go, but great effort. Boy, Danny Ainge really looking to be offensive minded. That's about 5 or 6 shots since he's been in the ball game.
And he's looking unsuccessfully. He's 0 for 3 in this quarter.
Made the 1 3-pointer at the end of the first quarter. Other than that, he's shooting blanks.
10 to shoot for L.A. Worthy trying to pick up the 3rd on Kersey. Gets double team help. Now 5 seconds. Teagle left alone. Once again, L.A. with the rebound. AC Green sticks it back. Well, this is another rebounding L.A. team from the one we saw in Portland.
Rebounding is effort and just the will to put your body on someone and go to the ball, and that's what AC Green is doing right now.
Kersey has it slapped away by Divac. Perkins will be back in this ball game in just a moment. That's the 2nd on Divac. Talk about a way for AC Green to be of value. They might have used some of these rebounds in game number 2.
Well, yes, and what AC Green can do, not only will he get the rebound, but he also can finish around the basket. You saw the nice left-handed little hook shot Bob, the team now that Los Angeles has on the floor, you have Sam Perkins basically playing the center position, and realizing that Rick Adelman now is going to take Cooper out of the game and come back with Duckworth. So look for them to go inside to Duckworth against Sam Perkins. A.C. Green and Worthy as the forwards. A little different lineup than we saw the other night. Mike Dunleavy now trying to get A.C. Green some playing time with Sam Perkins as Vlade Divac rests.
It's interesting as a coach, Doug, to see sometimes one coach get the substitution advantage. It may be in the hands of Dunleavy right now.
Absolutely, and you know, Magic's resting right now, and with a 9-point lead, the longer they keep this lead, the more rest that Magic can get so he can finish strong in the second half.
Porter comes to double team. 8 seconds to shoot for LA. Alone underneath Teagle. Got his own offensive rebound, takes it back up strong. There's A.C. Green. He missed the offensive board. Perkins gets it.
It's like a rugby scrum.
Portland ball.
Now, tell me that this Laker team is not so much more aggressive than we saw the other night. I never saw one flurry from the Lakers like that in Game 2 in Portland. They are really strong on the boards. There's one missed shot, rebound. Teagle's going to go back up again. He's going to miss this shot. A.C. Green a rebound. He's going to miss the shot. And then watch the bodies fly as the Lakers try to pick up this loose ball.
10 seconds to shoot. Inside to Duckworth against Perkins, much as you predicted. Bryant gets the offensive board and sticks it back in.
What happened that time? As the man left Mark Bryant to come over to try to help block the shot, it left Mark Bryant all alone underneath the basket for the offensive rebound. No one rotating back.
Larry Drew gets it to Worthy. Passes to an open Perkins. 10 to shoot for LA.
Now Perkins can take Duckworth outside. Duckworth's going to have to play him out there. He can make that shot.
Not this time. Porter with the rebound. A chance to pull to within 5 or better for Portland. Again making a run while Magic rests.
To clear this out, let Perkins, let Porter take Perkins. He's got the quickness on him.
There he is trying to take and can't get the shot. Kersey with the rebound. It won't fall. Another offensive rebound that goes unfulfilled for the Portland Trailblazers.
Bob, this is a strange game. There is no rhythm in this game. Both teams are playing very hard. A lot of missed shots, a lot of opportunities for second shot scores. This is one of those games where nothing is going right for either team, and as a result, there's really no tempo.
6:40 to go in the first half. The Lakers are up by 7 with 6:40 to go in the half, and in game number 2, the Blazers out-rebounded LA 51-28. That's not here in nearly the case tonight. Portland a slight edge, but look at the 13 offensive boards, Doug. 4 points out of that.
Well, they're not converting. It's what we talked about. The effort is there, but the opportunities to score and be in this ball game have not gone Portland's way because they have not been able to finish around the basket. Now, if you're Rick Adelman, you say, let's keep this effort up. Eventually, some of those easy shots have to go. The Lakers, on the other hand, have to do a better job on the defensive backboard.
35-28 Lakers. Portland cutting into the lead while Magic rests. And Michael Thompson is into the game as Magic rejoins the Lakers. And Kersey is fouled by Worthy.
Worthy with frustration as Kersey gets in front of him. He's going to take and just push him out of the way. There's the foul. Nice defense by Jerome Kersey. Offensive foul on James Worthy.
Portland can cut the lead to 5. Duckworth against Michael Thompson. 10 to shoot for Portland. Drexler denied the lane the first trip in by Worthy. Had to go to his hand he didn't want to go to on that particular drive, and Worthy gets the rebound.
That was very good defense by James Worthy.
Magic to the hoop. Fouled on the way by Drexler. His first.
Magic Johnson does not have great quickness, but he is so big and strong that the minute he gets his shoulder by you, you have to reach out and grab him. We see Clyde Drexler with a personal foul, but Magic got his left shoulder by Drexler. Drexler reach out, grabs, and again, 2 free throws. Watch this now. Here comes Magic. See the left shoulder, when it goes down and gets by you, you got to reach out and grab him because one more dribble and he's into the basket.
Magic Johnson has 10 points, all of them from the line except for a triple. 37-28 Lakers by 9, 5:59 to go in the first half. Duckworth from the baseline. Kevin, with his first field goal since early in the ball game. He is only 2 for 9 from the field.
Well, Duckworth is not concerned about Michael Thompson blocking his shot, so he'll go up with confidence and shoot it.
Worthy, quick spin move into the lane. Ball. Porter steps on the baseline. Los Angeles ball. Buck Williams back into the game for the Blazers, and Mark Bryant will rest.
Mark Bryant did a good job while he was in the game. Gave him some aggressive minutes, got some offensive rebounds, had some quality time for Rick Adelman while he was out there.
Lakers by 7. Magic, Johnson, Thompson, Perkins, Worthy, and Scott on the floor for LA.
Remember now, Perkins loves to come to the middle when he's on this side of the floor. You got to keep him making spin baseline.
Duckworth stopped that. 8 seconds to shoot. Cross-court pass to Worthy. Tried to shovel it, broken up, and Portland comes away with it. Drexler with a beautiful move, pass, reception, and jam. And Porter steals the inbounds pass. This time he makes them pay.
Now this is how quickly they strike. That's Portland at their best. 2 steals, 4 quick points, and all of a sudden it's a 3-point game.
With under 5 minutes to go in the half. Byron Scott from Magic Johnson will go.
Here they're on the run again.
Stereo. Here is Jerome Kersey with the jam. It's a 1-point game.
Now you're seeing the strength of Portland. A quick shot by the Lakers, defensive rebounding, forced turnovers, 6 quick points.
And the Lakers had led by 11. They now lead it by 1. LA gets the 22nd timeout. Rick Adelman's troops have battled back in here like the Desert Storm. I mean, you blink and it's over.
Well, that's the type of team they are. They're a frenetic team. They play emotionally. They get loose balls. They get out, they run. They shoot 3-point shots. It's not always pretty, but here's a great play by Drexler. This time Porter takes it in. He's looking for the pass. Drexler with a beautiful 2-hand dunk. Now he recovers real quickly. He gets a hand on the pass, deflects it to Terry Porter, who now hits the jump shot. And now you go back the other way, defensive rebound, throw it out, and Jerome Kersey with a dunk. So in about a 30-second period of time, Portland hits it with a 6-0 run.
Drexler has 12 points. Porter has 7 points, and Portland now getting themselves some of those very important fast break points.
Well, you fast break by doing 2 things: defending, rebounding, and forcing deflections. And that's what they did in that possession there to get 3 scores.
4:30 to go in the half. Lakers by 1 point. They opened with a 10-0 run to start this game. 5 seconds to shoot for Worthy.
That's another charge.
He backs hard into Kersey, and Worthy now has 2, as does Jerome Kersey. This is an opportunity for Portland to take the lead. LA jumped out 10-0, led by only as many as 11, and against Portland, 20's not even safe, as LA knows, even in this building.
Portland can blow a 20-point lead, or they can come back from a 20-point deficit. That's the explosive type team that they are.
Lakers with 4 consecutive turnovers. This time a Portland turnover.
Now that's just a bad pass by Drexler. No place to go. He just threw the ball right to Divac.
Magic Johnson wants to get in here and get some points himself, and does. Magic with 9 points. Lakers by 3. Excellent Laker defense. Under 10 to shoot. 5 seconds to shoot. Buck Williams has it tipped away. 2 to shoot.
That wraparound defense.
They don't get it off.
By Vlade Divac. You must make the adjustment. I know Rick Adelman and the coaches have talked to his team about Vlade Divac and the way he likes to come from behind you in the post. That's twice in this ball game. Twice he's caused turnovers.
After the Lakers turn it over 4 consecutive times and Portland pulls to within 1, now the Blazers with 2 consecutive turnovers. 10 seconds to shoot for LA. Perkins wants to get into the lane. Bangs inside, but first the foul against Williams. Wave off the basket. Buck Williams with 2 fouls.
13 fouls, so the ball will be taken sideline out of bounds. 3:07 remaining, so they still have 1 to give before you get into the last 2 minutes.
Lakers have only 1 team foul. Perkins thinks about the set shot.
And again, Magic wants in the post. Let's see if he can get that left shoulder inside Drexler. This time spins baseline.
Right shoulder past Drexler, and the lay-in for Magic. He has 11. Drexler to Kersey against Magic Johnson, trying to back him in. The interior pass couldn't get anything. Drexler for 3. Well, he will pull up and take that at the drop of a hat. It's Los Angeles ball with 16 seconds on the shot clock. Now a timeout on the floor with 2:30 remaining in the half, and the Lakers have regained control of the game for the moment. Is tonight's Nissan leader. They say there were 2 people who made the impact to lead the NBA into its golden era, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, back in the beginning of the 1980s.
Well, Bob, you see first assists, first steals, third in games played, third in free throws made, and Magic Johnson, you're going to see things he does well. There's the tough pass that Drexler makes. Magic, eyes up, always looking ahead to make the pass. Nothing is there. He's going to take his time, come back to the middle of the floor with a little flip shot over Drexler for an easy 2 points. And then the one thing Magic does so well in the post, now watch his shoulder. The minute he gets that shoulder by you, you're now beat. You must have weak side help. It's too slow getting there. Magic Johnson, just a terrific post player. You're going to see things he does well. There's the tough pass that Drexler makes. Magic, eyes up, always looking ahead to make the pass. Nothing is there. He's going to take his time, come back to the middle of the floor with a little flip shot over Drexler for an easy 2 points. And then the one thing Magic does so well in the post, now watch his shoulder. The minute he gets that shoulder by you, you're now beat. You must have weak side help. It's too slow getting there. Magic Johnson, just a terrific post player, just does everything for this team. But when he's passing the ball and piling up the assists, this Laker team is very, very difficult to beat.
Lakers had led 37-36. Now they've gone on a run to lead 41-36 with 2:20 to go in the half. Portland hanging around. The Trailblazers have been held to 36 points with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Astounding. 5 seconds to shoot. Kersey buries the jumper. He was the last option. He has 8 points. Lakers by 3. Under 2 minutes. Lakers with only 1 team foul. Blazers with 3. Into Divac, left alone down there by Duckworth. He can't hit the reverse. The football pass to Drexler for the left-handed jam, and once again, it's a 1-point game. 14 for Drexler.
You must have someone guard the backcourt at all times when you're playing Portland. You cannot allow them to get those easy baskets. Those easy baskets have kept them alive in this ball game. Without those, they'd be down about 15 points right now. They've got about 6 or 7 dunks.
10 to shoot. Johnson into the paint. There's interior defense. The foul is going to be called on Vlade Divac, his 3rd.
Magic Johnson upset, feeling he got fouled, but he just threw himself into the lane. You're going to see him throw himself into the lane here to try to draw the foul. There was really no foul there. Magic initiated the contact, a good no call. And then Buck Williams picking up the loose ball in the foul. So again, Portland has a chance to take the lead.
That was the first in the 2-minute period for the Lakers. 1:08 to go in the first half.
2-man game. Porter and Duckworth in the post.
Here's Duckworth against Perkins. The turnaround jumper. Not a desirable shot. Duckworth 2 of 10 tonight from the floor.
Kersey helps. Magic will shoot the 3. Kersey made a little fake to go down to double team. Now Magic wants the shot to count, but there'll be an illegal defense. Kersey started to go down, Bob, and he did not go all the way. He faked the double team, and when he did, that was the illegal defense. Remember now, if the shot occurs simultaneous to the whistle, the shot counts.
They really punish you for bad acting here. Now Magic against Drexler. Here comes the double team. That's a real one this time. Magic with the pass to make them pay. AC Green from Worthy.
This is the lineup I thought we'd see a lot of tonight. Perkins at center, AC Green, Worthy as the forwards. AC Green bumping hard against Buck Williams. Will try to do a good job keeping him off the offensive boards.
We have a 6-second differential. 6 to go on the clock in your lower right. Portland have to put it up. Drexler kicks it to Duckworth, who is 3 of 11 from the floor tonight. 3.5 seconds to shoot. AC Green will pull up from way out of there. Missed the three-point opportunity. And what an unbelievable score. Is this the run and gun West, the Wild West, the shoot 'em up West? It's 43-40. And no, we're not in Boston. We'll be back with our halftime in just a moment. First half, of course, I saw it that way too, and I know our viewers did. It's a 3-point lead. Who would have believed 43 points from LA and only 40 from Portland? A very low-scoring game. But don't be surprised if either or both of these teams explode offensively in the second half.
Well, I look for Portland to come out with a little bit more enthusiasm than they started the game. Again, they feed off their crowd so much in Portland. This is a team that won 26 games on the road in the regular season, so they're very capable of getting it cranked up. Now, for the Los Angeles Lakers, I think that as UB and I were talking about, they're going to have to do a good job of having better floor balance, so when a shot is taken, they prevent Portland from getting the 2-on-1s, the 3-on-2s, or even the breakaways where there's no one back defensively, and you get the slam dunks.
43-40 at halftime. All the stars are here tonight, including that man right there, the biggest star of all, Magic Johnson, and the Lakers lead it by 3. There was a big round of applause at the halftime for this man. You heard Michael Cooper with Diane Cannon at halftime. He came back to revisit. Of course, he was playing in Europe.
Well, I was cheering for Cooper. You were cheering for Diane Cannon.
You got
so
that
let's be
exactly.
honest, okay?
I have no problem divulging that inside information. 43-40, the Lakers leading. Clyde Drexler has 14 points for Portland, but other than that, Duckworth 2 of 11, Kersey 3 of 9, Ainge 1 of 6, and Magic Johnson 11 points, 7 assists for the Lakers in the first half, and we're underway for the final 24 minutes. This ball will belong to Los Angeles with only 12 seconds on the shot clock. As we start this ball game, foul trouble a little bit for Divac. He has 3, and Cliff Robinson off the bench 3 for Portland. Divac takes the set shot. Open scoring, and Vlade has 8 points.
Vlade can make that shot. He can step out to 20 feet and look for that. So Duckworth's going to have to be aware of that. Get a hand up. Well, Bob, the shooters are so great in this league. You don't get a hand in their face. They're going to shoot about 70%. We see right now Portland again right back on the perimeter where they started this ball game.
Where Portland doesn't want Kersey. Perkins down on the block against Buck Williams. A 7-footer. Can't get it to go. Williams, after Drexler keeps it alive. Porter. He'll pull up for the jumper. Now that's the kind of shot that I know Rick Adelman isn't looking for out of the Portland offense.
Not to start the third quarter. I think you got to get something established inside. You're not going to beat the Lakers if you continue to fire away with the outside jump shots.
Worthy pops off the traffic jam inside, misses his jumper. Lakers by 5.
Even if you throw the ball in the post and you force the defense to collapse, get the inside-outside attack rather than starting out with jump shots.
Drexler drives and then kicks it to Porter, who buries it from just inside the 3-point line. That was a 2.
Nobody back. So here's the Lakers doing to the Blazers a little of their own game to start this third quarter. So you work hard to get 2 and you give one right back up to them.
Worthy with 11. Buck Williams trying to drive. He loses it out of bounds. Portland turnover. Lakers ball. That's 8 Portland turnovers. Portland again not looking like they have that enthusiasm and fire that they thrive on.
I agree with you. They appear to be very sluggish. Now a lot of this might be the Laker defense, but they just don't have that frenzy that they normally play with.
Perkins again trying to back in on Buck Williams. Good steal. 8 LA turnovers. Duckworth. Nice hesitation, but not a very good shot. Now back hard to the hoop. It's blocked, and the foul. Perkins just picked up his 3rd.
That was a great effort by Sam Perkins, though. He came flying over to attempt to block the first shot. There he is. He flies out of the picture. Now he does not stop playing. Look at him. He comes back into the picture. Here he is. Now getting the block shot, but the foul. But that's excellent effort by Sam Perkins.
And Kevin Duckworth is only 2 of 12 from the floor tonight.
Every shot he's taken is being contested. When he posts up, he has a hand in his face. Most of his shots have been from the outside, the perimeter jump shot.
Also, that's only the 8th free throw of the night for Portland, and that compares to 12 from Los Angeles. So a narrow edge going to Los Angeles early. Perkins will rest A.C. Green early into the game again as he was in the first half.
Mike Dunleavy does not want Sam Perkins to pick up his 4th foul right now, so he's coming in with A.C. Green, who played well, and he has confidence to bring him into the ball game.
Lakers by 4. 10 to shoot for Los Angeles. We got a holding foul. It's on Kevin Duckworth, his second.
You know, we talked about, as we opened the game today, that when you know a team so well as these two teams do, and you play so often, you can throw the X's and O's out, and it becomes a battle of wills, and just who wants it the most. And you can see that's why this game is being played the way it is, Bob.
One too many dribbles for Divac. Drexler on the drive. He loses control, regains it, and gets the lay-in, and has 16. Lakers by 2. Divac with the pick and roll. Magic. Dishes to Vlade for the jam. Who has 10 points.
Rick Adelman cannot be happy with that defense to allow Vlade Divac just to dunk with the screen roll. Nobody's plugging from the weak side.
Drexler beats Worthy going to his left and draws the foul down on the baseline. Once again, a beautiful move by Clyde Drexler.
Now, see, I like this. I like to see guys take the ball to the basket because I think you put yourself in a position now to get that kind of foul. Drexler hears the whistle, so he takes the shot. But rather than take the outside jump shot, you make something happen by going inside. And then if the defense is collapsed, then you pitch out and you can get the open jump shot. But make the inside work.
Drexler's been the man. 17 points in this game. The personal foul, by the way, was the first for Magic Johnson. Drexler averaged almost a triple-double in the Portland-Utah series. Was 0.4 of a point away from a triple-double average during that series. Lakers by 2. Worthy. Like a flash bulb going off. 13 points. Kersey hard to the hoop. Misses the close-in shot. Divac with a rebound. He has 6. He had only 2 in game 2. Byron Scott fakes the jump shot, takes the drive, and will go to the line.
Now, see, Byron could have taken that three-point shot, and in the playoffs, he's 16 for 24. So the easy things to do is to launch the three-point shot. He doesn't. He fakes it. He drives it to the basket. These will be Byron Scott's first 2 free throws of this series. In 3 games, he has not yet been to the free throw line.
Duckworth with 3 personal fouls now. Byron Scott has played big in the playoffs. I get a bit of interest out of how a lot of Laker fans continually like to say Byron Scott disappears in big games. Yet when you look at what he does, and you can graphically display it, which we will at one point during this game, he is the great Scott. He comes up big time after time after time, and the detractors go, never mind, I think he disappears.
Where was he the other night? He didn't have any field goals in the 4th quarter. He shot 9 for 12 in the game.
Divac with a steal. To Scott. To Worthy. Over Duckworth. Divac rebound. And Portland has got to be thinking about a timeout. Rick Adelman is up off the bench as soon as they get across the timeline, which isn't anything easy itself. Porter doesn't see it. They're going to take it down and bring it back out again. They decide to wave off the timeout. Buck Williams for the Bulls. Lakers by 8. Drexler to a cutting Kersey. Good defense. Worthy. Now Portland gets the timeout.
Well, a turnover, and here's another dunk by James Worthy. That's 2 in the 3rd quarter. So Worthy out and running. The Lakers now with a 10-point lead.
Magic Johnson, 11 assists. The Lakers on a 10-2 run. This place is bonkers. It's as loud as I've ever heard the Forum. It was started by defense.
Drexler with a penetration. The ball gets caught on Kersey's hip. Magic Johnson picks up the loose ball, and again, James Worthy out to finish the dunk. When he was in his youth, he was as good as there was on the tail end of a fast break.
You hear the noise. James Worthy has 15 points. They're a little tired of hearing beat LA here at the Forum, which is what you always hear from the oppositions when it gets down to the Elite Eight or the Final Four in the NBA playoffs.
See what happens in the last 145. This is the kind of spurts you think that Portland is famous for, but Lakers on a 10-2 run.
Porter looking for Drexler off the curl, and Worthy is right in his face. Traffic jam inside. Divac blocked. The pass from Johnson. Vlade over Porter. "14 points. The Lakers with their biggest lead of the night. Drexler's jumper. And the crowd back into the noise again. The ball will belong to Los Angeles with 17 seconds on the shot clock.
It's a very confused Portland team on the floor right now. They came out launching jump shots. They have not been able to get anything going inside. Duckworth will come out. So what Rick Adelman's going to do now, he's going to go to a quicker team. He's got Cliff Robinson at center playing against Vlade Divac. So going to try to match some quickness here, maybe pick up the level of his defense, force some turnovers, and get into that vaunted Portland running game that we have seen in spurts tonight, but not extended.
And they immediately go to Divac against the shorter Robinson, who's carrying 3 fouls. And Divac makes them pay. Vlade, 16 points, 8 make it 10 in this quarter.
This is the Vlade Divac we saw against the Houston Rockets and Hakeem Olajuwon. You know, I think that Vlade, in his defense, got a little out of sync playing against Golden State. They had all the little guys. He didn't play much, and he's now trying to get back into the rhythm he had early in the playoffs. Beautiful hook shot, throwing kisses to the fans.
Buck Williams misses an inside shot, something he rarely does. He led the league in field goal percentage by hitting those little jump hooks. Lakers 61-47. Drexler now with the Blazers on the run. It's 4-3. Buck Williams misses that. Tip in Cliff Robinson. His first basket of the night. 5:35 to go third quarter. 11-point Lakers lead. Magic Johnson working on another triple-double with 7 seconds to shoot. Into Divac, they're going to go to that well till it runs dry. He goes to his left hand. AC Green, offensive board. It won't go. Buck Williams with his 10th rebound. Porter almost traveled. Ten seconds to shoot. Robinson posted against AC Green.
They need Cliff Robinson to play well. When he comes in, he gives them a guy that can score around the basket. He's very aggressive, very active, can block some shots, and he can give this team a real lift.
Lakers were up by 14. Lead cut to 10 now. A Los Angeles turnover, and it'll be Portland ball. Perkins into the game, and Vlade Divac will get a rest and a standing O at the Forum.
Mike Dunleavy now is going to match speed and quickness on the floor, so he's coming back with Perkins at center. He will play against Cliff Robinson. So in essence, you've got 2 forwards going against each other at that position.
This series tied at 1 game apiece. LA won the first one, 111-106. Lost game 2. We televised for you on TNT on Tuesday night by 11 points. So the Lakers took away the home court advantage, but remember, Portland won twice here in the regular season. uncontested jam for Jerome Kersey as he had spun away from Worthy to get the pass.
Mike Dunleavy's got to be real careful here. Maybe get a timeout to stop this. It's a 6-0 run.
Mike heard you and called the timeout. Mike Dunleavy in his first year at the helm of the Lakers, doing a very good job under some intense pressure and scrutiny. Well, Portland has climbed back in here to trail by 8. They had been down by 14. Let's look at the GMC truck update. You'll see one of the reasons for the problems Portland's having tonight.
Well, Kevin Duckworth has not been able to get on track. You see Kersey struggling. Porter at 4 for 10. Danny Ainge only 1 for 6. So right now to be within 8, they have to be very, very fortunate. Vlade Divac has played very, very well tonight. 16 points. Coming out playing excellent defense against Duckworth to prevent him from getting off inside. Right now, the man who might be able to help this Portland team with a couple baskets here late is Cliff Robinson. We'll have to keep our eye on him in the matchup against Sam Perkins.
He scored on 2 consecutive possessions just a few minutes ago. Vlade Divac will rest it. Scott Perkins, AC Green, James Worthy, and Magic Johnson for the Lakers. You might call it their small lineup against the Blazers' quick lineup. LA by 8, 4:14 to go, third quarter.
Out of timeout, you go to James Worthy.
Worthy uses the Johnson pick to get the 13-footer, and Worthy has 17. Byron Scott denying the penetration to Porter. Looking for Robinson, who hit on 2 consecutive ones. However, Drexler's going to have to create something on his own here. Into Kersey with only 4 seconds on the shot clock. Jerome with 12 points. Magic Johnson to Byron Scott. 10 seconds to shoot for LA. Magic open from about 25. AC Green had it, lost it. Now Portland loses it. It's going to be Lakers ball.
But credit AC Green. He's working so hard on the offensive board. He could have given up on this play and ran down the floor defensively. He worked hard and forced Portland to knock the ball out of bounds. New shot clock. Laker possession.
Surprising 3 minutes of play for AC Green only in game 2. Here he has a lot more minutes and 7 important rebounds. Magic Johnson with 10 seconds to shoot against Drexler.
Wants to get inside with that shoulder.
To Worthy. What a pass. 19 points for Worthy. Magic Johnson assist number just going off the chart. Magic with a rebound. Loses it. Perkins scrambling. Magic with 13 assists in this game. On the drive, he's held by Cliff Robinson. And if it is Robinson who got him, and I'm certain it is, it'll be 4.
See, Magic is so smart. He realizes he's got Cliff Robinson against him, so he clears out and is going to take it to the basket. He tells his teammate, get out of my way. I'm going to take it to the basket. Again, the reach and the foul. Cliff Robinson upset. Now Danny Ainge will come into the ball game, probably for Cliff Robinson, and they'll go with a small lineup. Drexler will move over and play the small forward.
Give and go after the double team, but Portland broke it up down the middle. Magic Johnson hustles for the ball. Hustle points going to Los Angeles. Byron Scott on the baseline. Lakers by 12. Byron has 10 points. Porter trying and successfully trying to penetrate.
We saw a lot of that in game 2. Terry Porter driving to the basket. He shot 12 for 15. Tonight the middle has totally been closed down. There's been no place to go.
Worthy answers just as quickly, spinning to his own right, and has 21.
Well, he's going around Jerome Kersey so quickly tonight. Again, the middle blocked off there, Bob. It was a tough shot. Magic Johnson got in the way. The contact, no foul. And a tough shot by Drexler.
Minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Lakers led it by 3 at the half. Only 17 points in this quarter for Portland. This ball belongs to the Blazers.
Here's Magic. He gets in the way of Drexler, takes the bump. He tries to throw the ball up to get the 2-shot foul. No whistle. The
boos are for Hugh Evans, the official, who gave the ball to Portland even though a Laker player was knocked down, but the call was made prior to the player going to the floor, who was Perkins, I guess.
Rick Adelman has left Cliff Robinson in the game. He's going with Danny Ainge for Terry Porter.
Off the curl, fakes the jump, the drive, it won't fall. It's been that kind of night for Danny Ainge and the Blazers. Down 12. Robinson off the dribble. Almost impossible shot. Kersey will power it back up inside. Nothing there. Williams finally gets it to go down. 3 offensive rebounds on that possession. 2 points.
Portland needs a couple stops here right now defensively, and a couple field goals, try to cut this deficit under 10 going into the 4th period.
Illegal defense called against Portland. Portland has that'll be a free throw shot this time. Portland has an unbelievable 18 offensive rebounds. I mean, that's a good total for an entire game. And we have 44 seconds to go in this quarter, yet Portland can't stick them back in.
Well, they're not converting. Here's the shot. Kersey with the offensive rebound. So here's another shot. He doesn't get it. And finally, Buck Williams gets the 3rd shot to finally go down.
Lakers by 11 on the technical free throw after the illegal defense, and Rick Adelman trying to figure out how to solve the Lakers. He has 12 minutes and 44.2 seconds in this game to do it.
Well, we know that the Portland team is explosive enough to do it, but right now the Lakers are not allowing them to get any easy baskets in this 3rd quarter. Everything in the half court. Cliff Robinson's got to be very careful not to pick up his 5th foul here on this possession against James Worthy.
Scott lost Ainge. Magic couldn't get him the ball. Magic just threw his hands up. 5 seconds to shoot. Worthy's left-handed hook won't fall, and it's Laker ball with 23.1 remaining in the quarter.
Now that ball didn't hit anything, so the shot clock should not have recycled. It did not hit anything, so I don't know what they're going to do with the shot clock.
That's what Rick Adelman said. Committee meeting, and Mike Mathis will make the decision.
He's going to say it hit the bottom of the rim, so the shot clock did recycle. Looked to me like an air ball, but maybe the ball was tipped and went up underneath the basket.
Perkins hands it to Magic Johnson. Lakers looking for the final shot of the quarter, leading by 11. They were up by 3 at the half.
This could be big, going up 13 if you score, maybe 14 with a 3-point play or a 3-point shot.
Perkins, not where he wanted to be, stripped away. There's an opportunity for Drexler to shoot it for 3. It would have counted, but not tonight. Lakers by 11 with 12 minutes of basketball remaining. In Game 3 of the Western Conference Championship Series, it's tied at 1 game apiece. Lakers 70, Blazers 59. Blazers have 22 points, 18 points, and 19 points in the first 3 quarters, respectively. That won't get it done.
Well, we have to give Vlade Divac a lot of credit. He came out tonight. He's playing excellent basketball, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 2 block shots. Kevin Duckworth only 2 for 12 from the floor. We see Magic already piling up 15 assists. Remember, he had 21 assists in Game 1 with only 2 turnovers. A.C. Green has played 20 minutes tonight, 5.7 rebounds. We talked about his importance after playing only 3 minutes in Game 2 and 10 in Game 1. So the experience and the patience of A.C. Green when he gets his turn to come in and play well. Terry Porter 5 for 11, 11 points for the Portland Trail Blazers. Game 1 after 3, Portland had 92 points. Game 2, 81 at the end of 3. Tonight, 59. The Laker defense has been sensational.
Danny Ainge and Drexler on the floor with Robinson, Kersey, and Duckworth. This is Robinson out of the double team. He hits Duckworth, who's struggling tonight mightily from the field.
That wasn't even close on Duckworth. That's now 2 for 13.
And the 5th personal foul on Cliff Robinson, the most important bench player for the Portland Trail Blazers. And Rick Adelman sees this game slipping away.
Let's see if the Lakers go to Terry Teagle in this matchup against Danny Ainge in a post-up. He likes it on the baseline. He had good success in the first game down there. We're going to go back to Worthy, it looks like.
Against Kersey. Here comes the double team. That leaves Perkins open. A.C. Green with 7 seconds to shoot. Magic gets the double team, hits Perkins, who's the open man. Rebound kept alive by Magic and Perkins, but Ainge steals it, and Portland has the numbers. Kersey lays it off, and we've got a foul. That's the second foul on A.C. Green.
I think the next 5 minutes of this ball game is very, very important to Portland. Remember now, when Portland had the 12-point lead going in to the fourth quarter in game one, in a 3-minute period of time, the Lakers had already taken the lead. Portland needs that same kind of effort here tonight in the fourth quarter.
Danny Ainge off the curl. He was contested on that shot, and it won't fall. Teal got inside, but the Blazers got back to the defense. Duckworth to Ainge to Drexler.
Well, they're taking some wild shots tonight. On the run, going the wrong way, throwing them back up off their shoulder. Really, their patience is not what you'd like for it to be tonight. This is a team that won 63 games. Bob, their shot selection in the last few possessions has not been good.
And Portland's only been to the free throw line 11 times tonight, indicating again that they're not getting the kind of shots that Rick Adelman would like to see. Lakers by 11. Nobody has scored in a minute 10 of this period until Ainge finally hits one. Danny Ainge with only 6 points.
It's about 2 for 9 or 10 from the floor now for Danny Ainge, so he's not shooting well at all.
A.C. Green open from 18. He has that shot. 7 points for A.C. Green to go with his 7 rebounds. Portland capable of exploding, however, in only a minute or two. Let's see if they get anything going.
Oh, Duckworth walked.
12 turnovers for Portland. Portland cutting players through the lane, looking for it, but L.A. was there on every opportunity. It's an 11-point Lakers lead, 10 minutes to go in the game.
The Laker defense is all packed back in there inside. They're giving nothing inside at all. They're going to make Portland beat them from the perimeter, and Portland has not been able to shoot the ball well tonight. So right now the game plan working very well.
Perkins turnaround on the baseline. He's fouled by Kevin Duckworth, and that's 4 on Duckworth. Remember, Cliff Robinson's on the bench with 5 personal fouls for Portland. Timeout with 9:57 remaining in the game. The Lakers continue to lead it by 11 points, and Duckworth with 4 personals. The Lakers up by 11 with 9:57 to go in the game. This is our 34th and final NBA playoff telecast on TNT, but we will be back in June. You're not rid of us yet. The NBA draft. Hubie Brown, Doug Collins will join me for that coverage live from Madison Square Garden. It's been a tremendous season of NBA basketball. This is frankly an ugly game, but we have had some beauties, and this one still has a chance to turn out and please us, does it not?
Well, I think that when you get against two teams that know each other so well and the defense can really lock in and you don't get easy baskets like tonight, you get a lot of poor shooting, you get a lot of tough shots, and the Lakers have done a good job of packing it back in. When Hubie and I talked at halftime, we talked about the floor balance of the Lakers not allowing Portland to get out and get easy baskets. In the second half, it's been the Lakers getting easy baskets, Portland really getting none.
Sam Perkins on the free throw line. As you look at Mike Dunleavy, Natalie attired here at the Forum tonight. Lakers 14 of 16 from the free throw line tonight. Portland 9 of only 11 free throw attempts. Once again, that is a significant statistic for Portland. They have to get to the line, generally speaking, to win a ball game.
Well, you got Mark Bryant in the game. You got Danny Ainge. You got Clyde Drexler. So the offense is going to have to come probably from Drexler, and Duckworth now with a foul against Sam Perkins. That's 5. Oh, they called it on Drexler. I thought that was on Duckworth.
That'll be 2 on Drexler, and Duckworth continues with 4. Percy will sit down. Mark Bryant is into the game. 9:44 remaining. Lakers by 13 points. Team fouls, 1 for LA, 2 for Portland.
Small lineup now. Drexler matched against Worthy.
Porter with another steal. He's had 3 big ones here tonight in this game. See if he can make them pay on this end. Offensive foul. 3 steals for Porter and 3 missed opportunities.
Terry Porter's over-penetrating tonight with the basketball as he's getting inside. This is 3 times, as you said, he's done this tonight. Now, beautiful steal, and he gets the ball inside. Danny Ainge spotting up outside, and here he takes the extra dribble, has no place to go, and just runs over Sam Perkins.
Magic with a pass behind Perkins. Now with Terry Porter with his second consecutive foul.
Now you look at the matchups on the floor right now. If you're the Los Angeles Lakers, you've got Magic Johnson being guarded by Danny Ainge. You can go in the post. You have you have James Worthy being played by Drexler. You can go to him inside. So right now the Lakers have the advantage of this matchup. We'll see how it happens.
Magic backing in on Ainge. Duckworth falls off. Perkins, the open man, drills the jump shot.
All that because you're worried about the post-up of Magic. You come back to give help. And the easy jump shot now by Sam Perkins.
This should be a relatively easy duck hook, but Duckworth can't get anything to fall. Jump ball. Duckworth and A.C. Green. Kevin struggling tonight like many of the rest of his Portland teammates.
I think Kevin Duckworth was lucky here. He got out of that with a jump ball out of his frustration. Looks like he banged up against A.C. Green, but had enough basketball for the jump ball.
And that will turn the ball over to the Los Angeles Lakers. Another Portland turnover. .850 to go in the game. Lakers' biggest lead of the game by 15 points, 86-61. Just think about it. Portland, with 8:44 to go, has scored only 61 points. A.C. Green's off-balance jumper won't fall. Teagle back quickly to Drexler, who's to Duckworth, and the lay-in. Wave it off, travel. Portland's 14th turnover in the game.
Well, Portland's trying to make a move, and the move is going backwards right now. They only had 2 points now in almost the first 4 minutes of this fourth quarter. Again, going inside to Magic Johnson. If the double team occurs, Perkins will spot up for the jump shot or swing the ball to Worthy.
Perkins spotting up for the jump shot. And the foul, a three-point opportunity. A real Jekyll and Hyde team, these Portland Trailblazers.
The double team, Duckworth does not get out to cover. He gets out late, the foul, the jump shot, and the opportunity to go to the free throw line.
And Kevin Duckworth now with 5 personal fouls and 8-11 remaining in this game. The Lakers with a 17-point lead and 8-11 to go in this ball game. Portland has been unable to find the range outside, inside, or any other way tonight, shooting 33%. They've had 76 field goal attempts.
This really started the first minute of the game. I thought Portland came out very flat, and they got down 10-0, and they've never really recovered. They've gotten back to within 1, but they really never have recovered. This has been a game that they're going to look back on, and they're going to say, how in the world can we come out so flat in a game this important? 5 points, 5 fouls, 4 turnovers for Duckworth, 2 for 14 from the field. I'm sure he's talking to himself. And you know what you've also done, too? You've come in now, you've given Vlade Divac a lot of confidence. You've also restored A.C. Green to this Laker team. So right now, the Lakers have to feel very good about what's transpiring in this third game of this series.
Drexler, who has only 4 second-half points after having 14 at the intermission.
So the little motion passing game, trying to get something going. Another tough shot by Terry Porter, and that's off Cliff Robinson.
Lakers ball. 7:52 to go in the game. Lakers up by 18 points.
Danny Ainge now playing A.C. Green. Kersey moves over to play Magic Johnson. There's the switch. Now Perkins will get the jump shot if Robinson helps.
Teagle's jump shot on the baseline. Terry Teagle.
This is incredible. They scored 21 points in the second half.
Terry Porter on the drive and the bucket this time. 7:21 to go, cutting into the 20-point lead. And some full court pressure here. And whatever happened to the trapping of Magic Johnson that was so successful in game number 2? Perkins with the jam and the foul. 13 points for Sam Perkins.
This is a clinic. Defense, offense, moving the basketball. Right now the Lakers are having their way. Watch this, the ball, one dribble, two dribbles, he splits it, throws ahead, another couple dribbles, 3-on-1 fast break. And Perkins finishes it again with another opportunity for a three-point play.
Kersey with 3 personal fouls. What did happen to the trapping of Magic Johnson?
I do not know. Buck Williams was so strong in game 1 coming over and taking the ball out of Magic's hands. They have not done that tonight. And that aggressive defensive style has not been here at all.
Porter going hard to the hoop. He gets this one to fall, and he'll have a 3-point opportunity. So Portland trying to make something happen in the form of point guard Terry Porter, but will it be too little too late? 22nd timeout for Portland as the Lakers lead it by 19. We have 7:04 remaining in the ball game. I wonder about, and I don't know this, it's just speculation, following the game in which Buck Williams did an intense job of playing defense and rebounding, there was criticism by the press and even somewhat by the Portland team, Rick Adelman, saying, we really didn't ask Buck to do that. He was doing that kind of on his own. I wonder if he's laying off a little bit tonight simply because he feels they maybe don't want him to do it that way.
Well, this Portland team is a team that plays high energy, and they make a lot of mistakes, but with their high energy, in many instances, they outrun their mistakes. They cover for each other. They don't have that energy level tonight, Bob. We have not seen it. You look out, and the players don't have that sweat glistening all over them and everything else like that. There's a sort of a perplexed look on their face right now, like, what is going on out here? And they're all looking around for someone to get them started. Clyde Drexler only 4 points in the second half. Terry Porter looks like he's trying to take it on his shoulders now to make something happen, and it's just not there. Now, we also have to credit the Lakers. They've done a tremendous job defensively, and they have not allowed Portland to run. 61 points.
And A.C. Green, who was virtually invisible in Game 2, has played very big in this ball game. He'll take a rest as Byron Scott returns to the floor. Byron will come back with 10 points. He's 4 out of 7.
When I talked to Mike Dunleavy before the game, he said, Doug, I experimented a little bit in Game 2 with Eldon Campbell, seeing if his shot block would help us. And he said, at the expense of not playing A.C. Green, he said, I made a mistake. He said, we need A.C. Green, and you're going to see a lot of him. So I really credit Mike Dunleavy with stepping up and saying, I tried something, it didn't work. We had a road win. I thought that was the game to try it. Now I know what we have to do coming home. So, that's a lot for a coach to say that.
10 seconds to shoot for Los Angeles. Worthy is fouled as he found an open lane and goes hard to the hoop.
Spreading the floor, trapping defense, you move the basketball. Worthy sees the opening down the middle, takes it right to the basket, and gets to the foul. So right now, Portland trying to do some half-court trapping. The Lakers doing a good job spacing the floor, making the extra pass, and then not settling for the jump shot, but taking the ball right to the hoop.
If this game continues this way, the next 6:44, this will be the first significant point spread game between these teams all year, going all the way back to the exhibition season.
What Portland has to be thinking right now is that they dominated this Laker team for 2 games in Portland, which you see the offensive rebound, but one dry spell, 3 minutes, has put them in a situation now where it looks like they're going to be down 2-1, when it looks like they had game 1 in hand, and they lose that lead, and it's really going to cost them right now from what it looks like. It looks like that the Lakers are going to go up here 2-1.
3 personal fouls on Worthy. Cliff Robinson goes to the free throw line. Robinson, who got in early foul trouble, is playing with 5 right now.
And we've talked about Portland being an emotional team. You see their coach, Rick Adelman, who's done a terrific job. He knows this team probably better than anybody. Who's lived with them every day now for the last 2 years. But they're going to have to come out emotionally on Sunday afternoon, and even this series up 2-2, they cannot go down 3-1.
Magic Johnson to Worthy.
Got to make a strong double teamer to illegal defense.
Scott misses that, and Robinson rebounds, but the defensive effort by Portland just wasn't there. It was simply a missed jump shot. Blocked by Byron Scott with the block. Kersey returning with it. Kersey on the drive. He draws the foul.
Byron Scott, take this out of here. Watch this great play. Byron with a good timing. I taught him well at Arizona State. Get him there blocking those shots.
Just like you were a great shot blocker, I know, in your day.
You have to head it down by their ankles.
Perkins with 4 fouls now. 6:08 to go in the game. 18-point Lakers lead.
It will be interesting to see now if the game stays this kind of point differential, how long Mike Dunleavy leaves Magic Johnson, James Worthy out on the floor. Those guys have played heavy minutes in the playoffs. They're averaging, this Laker team, 41.5 for Worthy, 41.5 for Scott, 42.5 for Perkins, and almost 45 for Magic Johnson in the 2 games against Portland.
10 seconds to shoot for L.A. Once again, great spacing. They've got this floor very spread. Teagle drills the jumper just inside the 3-point line. He's doing exactly what the Lakers want from him off that spread floor. Robinson with a tough bank shot. Magic Johnson, by the way, and you can chart Lakers' success by this, has 19 assists in this game tonight to go with 12 points.
And only, I think, what, 2 turnovers? So he had 21 and 2 in game 1.
And that foul will go on Jerome Kersey. His 4th. Well, the Los Angeles Lakers were virtually written off by a lot of people. Some people didn't think they'd get past Houston in the first round. And Mike Dunleavy and these Los Angeles Lakers are making a statement that they may be in there to play what everybody seems to feel will be Chicago for the World Championship.
It's going to be very interesting tomorrow now to watch how Detroit, after a few days rest, comes out at home against Chicago. Chicago has been quicker than them. They've been more aggressive. Defensively, offensively, they've been to the free throw line about twice as many times as the Pistons. If the Pistons have any hopes of winning that series, they're going to have to come out and win tomorrow.
Isaiah Thomas has anything to say about it. You can be sure they will. He's been playing very tough despite his injuries in the playoffs. And the Pistons remain, even though they're getting older, even though they're getting slower, they remain a very proud team. So we'll see what that brings at the Palace.
The guy who's going to have to really come up big is Bill Laimbeer. Only 1 field goal in each of the first 2 ball games. They really need him in his outside shooting to open things up. Boy, tough shot again.
Kersey gets it, thanks to Cliff Robinson. Everything is a struggle for Portland tonight. Every single thing they do is contested. Cliff Robinson, carrying his 5 fouls, now has 10 points. It's a 17-point Lakers lead, under 5 minutes to go in this game. Magic milking it now.
Like to pick up a 6th foul here and make him sit down.
There's a flop by Portland, no call, and Perkins gets the lay-in.
You cannot flop in the playoffs. They're not going to give you that call, so you might as well stay up on your feet.
Nice pass to Ainge, who is hammered by Perkins.
It's going to be a flagrant foul. 2 shots in the ball. Here comes Sam Perkins, mild-mannered Sam Perkins. Taking down Danny Ainge. It'll be 2 shots at the ball, sideline out of bounds.
Well, the acquisition of Sam Perkins for this Los Angeles Laker team is probably the single most significant change in the team that's got them where they are this year.
When you think about the moves that Jerry West and this Laker organization made in the offseason, you lose Michael Cooper to Italy. They trade Orlando Woolridge. They're able to pick up, by moving under the salary cap, they're able to pick up Sam Perkins, Terry Teagle, and draft Eldon Campbell. So 3 great moves. They're going to put him again and right in the running for the Executive of the Year.
92-75 Los Angeles, 4:26 to go in the game. Ainge knocks them both down. It'll be Portland ball. A flagrant foul gives you the free throws and possession.
I guess I should also add that he hired Mike Dunleavy as a coach, too, and Mike has done a terrific job. So a lot of moves by this Laker team in the offseason, and they're all paying dividends right now.
4:19 to go. Drexler on the drive. He's got a tough shot there. It won't fall. It's Los Angeles ball.
I think you're going to see Magic maybe another minute and a half, and then he's got to be out of the ball game. 17-point lead at the pace of this game. Portland's not going to come back.
12 points to go with his 19 assists, 7 rebounds for Magic Johnson tonight. The Lakers have really stepped up physically, too. Mike Dunleavy said that's something they would have to do, and they have answered the bell. Magic, quick spin move to the baseline. It's Danny Ainge with the personal foul.
See, the Lakers do as well as anybody in the league at going to mismatches. They post up. They're going to go right at Danny Ainge. The foul is committed. Magic will go to the free throw line. But see, when you talk about the Lakers, they post up Sam Perkins, they post up Magic Johnson, they post up Teagle, they post up Worthy, they post up Divac. And that's why they get to the free throw line so often. The ball goes inside. If you get single coverage, they score. If not, or they get fouled. If you get double coverage, they now swing the ball to the open man and shoot spot-up jump shots. So this is a team that's predicated on a half-court game now, getting the ball inside, getting to the free throw line, or finding the open man.
Magic Johnson hasn't missed from the free throw line tonight. He's 7 out of 7. Played 41 minutes in the game, by the way, too. 3:43 remaining. Tough for even Portland to come back in this one, and Doug and I have seen the biggest comeback of the year by Portland. The win in overtime earlier in the year. Worthy takes it to the hole, but first the hold is the call on Drexler before he went to the basket.
Well, Rick Adelman's going to call timeout. Danny Young's going to come to the ball game. I would not be surprised to see him even clear the bench and pull the plug on this one and say, you know what, guys, this was a stinker. Let's forget about it, and let's be ready to come back on Sunday.
So James Worthy is fouled by Clyde Drexler. He'll go to the free throw line. When we return to the Forum, the Lakers up 94-70. Tonight's Dutch boy in the paint, and Portland out rebounding Los Angeles. But the big difference has been Portland has been unable to get any points or any significant points off their 20 offensive boards, and the front line scoring 64-36 LA.
Well, just a tremendous job by the interior defensive people of the Los Angeles Lakers. They forced jump shots. Portland has not been able to shoot well from the outside. You know, Bob, we were talking during the commercial. This game reminds me a lot of the flat game that Detroit played against the Boston Celtics in Game 3, where they just got blown away by 31 points, then recovered and came back to win Game 4. I'm sure Portland would like to be able to write that script.
Well, this game's been, the play has been so ugly at times you think it might have been on another network, but no.
That's right, we're supposed to have close games.
94-77, only kidding. 3:31 to go in the ball game. Clyde Drexler in this second half, 4 points, 1 out of 7. That's in the second half as you take a look at the field goal percentage by key scorers on the Portland team. And James Worthy will go to the line. Danny Young making his first appearance in the playoffs against this series against Los Angeles for Portland. Will come in at guard. And Walter Davis also has entered the game.
Well, Portland's going to have they've got tonight, I'm sure Rick Adelman and his staff will not sleep tonight. They'll be watching the films. They'll have practice tomorrow. And they've got to recover, come back here on Sunday afternoon. And if they have hopes of winning this series, they've got to win on Sunday afternoon. Now, I know they would not be eliminated after 3 losses, but to allow them to go up 3-1, put yourself in a major, major hole.
Look, Robinson drills a 3-pointer. He has 13 points in the game. Got in early foul trouble. Was not as effective as he needed to be early in the game. Lakers by 16. Worthy, the man handling the ball right now against Ainge. 8 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Worthy takes him to the hoop and hands it off. No foul call there as Kersey has a 4-on-2 break going. Teagle with the personal foul, and Kersey will go to the line.
Foul is Teagle. First personal. Kersey will have 2 shots.
Coming up on our sister network, TBS, this weekend, the Grand National Charlotte 300. That's at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And the Coca-Cola 600 NASCAR race Sunday at 1 o'clock. Join Ken Squire, Ken Stabler, and Neil Bonnet for all the action this weekend on TBS. The Snake, the former quarterback.
You used to work with him, didn't you? You drove him into auto racing?
Exactly. Ken Stabler did a couple of SEC games with me and said,
I'm going to racing.
Sure. What's your next sport going to be, Doug?
I don't know. I guess golf.
Ken said auto racing was much safer doing ball games from Oxford, Mississippi with me. Lakers 96-82 with 2:46 remaining.
I'm a little surprised Mike Dunleavy still got his starters in here right now. The one thing you do not want to get right now is an injury.
Byron Scott misses. There was like 2 seconds on the shot clock.
The only thing that Mike Dunleavy can get criticized for right now is if he leaves one of these guys in here, they turn an ankle.
Walter Davis has his jump shot blocked by Byron Scott. That's Byron's second and third block, but wave that off statistically. He'll be called for the foul. Byron's starting to think himself as, you know what's inspired him? I know what inspired Scott's defense. It's the entry of Michael Cooper here as a spectator.
There's a Michael Cooper play right there. Then he comes right back and tries to get a block here, gets him with the body. And then Byron takes a little shot with the hip from Jerome Kersey.
Walter Davis, a mid-season addition to the Portland Trail Blazers.
I guess when you look up at the score, though, it's only a 13-point lead right now. They've whittled it back here a little bit. 2 minutes and 17 seconds remaining.
Davis gets them both, and it's a 12-point lead with 2:15. Portland sure capable of exploding, but you doubt it with this lineup on the floor.
Right. And right now they're going to trapping press. You want to use the clock and then get something going to the basket. You don't want to settle for an outside jump shot.
Ainge in the face of Perkins. 7 seconds to shoot. Alone underneath. Teagle. Goaltending. Cliff Robinson. Count the basket. Back to a 14-point lead with under 2 minutes to go. Both teams in the penalty.
There's the goaltend. Cliff Robinson takes it off the basket. 2 points for Terry Teagle. Ala Abdelnaby trying to check into the game, but will not be allowed to until the next dead ball situation.
Danny Young, Cliff Robinson. That's a tough double clutch shot. Perkins keeps it alive and takes the rebound. Perkins has 9 rebounds tonight. There's the steal, the turnover, and the slam by Kersey.
Sam Perkins said, "What hit me?"
Perkins has played big again tonight, however. Particularly defensively inside. That tone was set early in this game. There's the double team on Magic Johnson.
There's going to be some sleepless people in Portland for the next couple days. That community is so Trailblazer crazy. I'm sure they're going to be sitting on the edge of their seats on Sunday afternoon.
Minute 15 to go in the ball game. Lakers by 14, now by 12. This score is going to end up at about the same spread as game number 2 we saw in Portland Tuesday night, and certainly not the same kind of game.
Absolutely, and it's also going to be, when you look at it, it's going to be that 10-0 spurt again that started the game. It's a 12-point game right now. They dug themselves such a major hole.
Now Ala Abdelnaby from Duke into the ball game. Just enough Magic. We talked about this early. When Magic Johnson has these kind of numbers in the assist category, the Lakers are unbeatable.
Well, that means they're getting good balance, and the ball is being moved out on the floor. And you look at the scoring, Perkins 18, Worthy 25, Divac 16, Magic 14, Byron Scott 12. So when you get that kind of balance and you play the kind of defense they played tonight, it's going to be awfully tough to handle.
Larry Drew, as Magic finally gets his rest, and Scott with a jam. Byron Scott, 14 points. He's been big defensively tonight. No basket. The foul occurred before the shot. Only 47.3 seconds remaining in the ball game. Well, on behalf of all our broadcasters, our play-by-play and analysts tonight, that'll be Pete Van Weeren, Ron Bullitt, myself, Doug Collins, Hubie Brown, Rick Barry worked with us some in the playoffs. Of course, Jack Goose Gibbons. We've enjoyed bringing you the telecast this year. 50-plus regular season games, 34 playoff games. Doug's been a fun year.
Yes, it has been great. And, you know, it's going to be an interesting thing now to see who goes on to win the NBA championship. Right now, you have to like the looks of the Lakers here in the West, unless Portland can recover, and obviously Chicago playing so well. So we'll have to keep our eyes and ears peeled. But what a lot of fun it's been, and I'm going to miss you the rest of the way.
You're going to miss working me out. I'm going to have to. You've got me on a program now. I'm tired.
Yeah, I expect to see you spelt by the time we get to the draft in New York.
Into AC Green, he takes the hard foul of 39 points. Svelte is not in my vocabulary. With 39.1 seconds remaining, I come from the Skip Carey School at Svelte. As you look at the Portland Trailblazers, who will have to regroup, and believe me, they have regrouped before. Remember, Portland won twice here at the Forum during the regular season. It's a proud team, a talented team, and you probably expect them to come back and give the Lakers a battle on Sunday. If they don't, they can start thinking about going fishing.
Well, I remember Portland this year went through a real down period, and they were out losing on the road. I think they'd lost 4 or 5 in a row. They went into Boston Garden on a Sunday afternoon in a nationally televised game, and got down early, pulled it together, and won a major game on the road in Boston Garden. So this is a team that's been in some adverse situations. They know what they have to do. And the one thing about Rick Adelman, he knows the pulse beat of this team, and he knows that they're a proud team that's going to just have to pull it back together. No temper tantrums, no ranting and raving is going to help right now. Watch the films, make some little adjustments, and then come back and have some energy. I think that was the real difference, Bob. They just did not have any energy in the game tonight.
So the Lakers cleared the bench. They have Irving Thomas, Larry Drew, Campbell, Green, Tony Smith into the ball game. Basically the same thing has happened for the Portland Trailblazers. All bench players on the floor for the final 30 seconds. Now the Lakers showed up big tonight. Intense defense, strong rebounding, and physical play, which is what you just saw there from A.C. Green. And then Eldon Campbell, the #1 draft choice for the Lakers, who's played big in certain limited moments this year. A.C. Green thought of the three, gives it to Tony Smith. Final 3.5 seconds of this ball game. That basket will not count. 106-92. Mike Dunleavy's Lakers get Rick Adelman's Portland Trailblazers and go up 2-1 in this series. Portland will have to regroup, and the Lakers have to be feeling good about their response to the defeat in Game 2 up in Portland. Doug and I will be back to the Forum in just a moment.